PROCON-WEB product family is an HMI software, which has now nearly 35 years of experience. It started as PROCON COM and basically in the pre-Windows 95 area, and was not web-based then, but since 15 years now, since it's called PROCON-WEB, it's web-based. And embedded systems is basically the small brother of PROCON-WEB SCADA, and runs containerized, platform independent, which why it is available on Siemens Industrial Edge. So forget about the SCADA part, but in terms of SCADA applications, we are doing dairy plants or stuff like that. For Siemens Industrial Edge, PROCON-WEB Embedded Systems is relevant, and of course the engineering tool with which you create the HMI. I, in this shorter session, will focus just on features. The engineering tool is, you know this from Siemens, TIA Portal, or other visualization solutions. It offers the typical engineering solutions. So the general setup, as mentioned, we are web-based engineering, web-based visualization. So you have the engineering tool, it runs on your local Windows PC, and which creates the project. Then you have the server component, and that can run basically anywhere. We run on ARM32, ARM64, x86 architectures, therefore Windows, Linux, containerized, and of course on Siemens Industrial Edge. To access the HMI, you simply need a browser, and you can generate HMIs for any device here. You can adapt to the resolution, create specific HMIs for specific devices, use scalability options to get some sort of responsivity, you know, when the HMI adapts to your screen size. PROCON-WEB Embedded Systems, the container itself is really optimized for performance. So at the moment, I think we are roughly 70 megabytes. Our app is in size. It runs on Raspberry Pi. Second generation was the first hardware we implemented it for. Now we are at generation 5, and we basically still support the ARM32 architectures, but in general, we are multi-architecture. So any device which runs the Siemens Industrial Edge or is working with Siemens Industrial Edge should be able to run PROCON-WEB Embedded Systems without a problem. We focus ourselves around the user-centered display of machine data ideas. So today, in today's world, not or let me phrase it differently, different personas want to access machine data. You have the operator, you have the plant manager, you have the energy manager, or you have the maintenance guy. They all need machine data, but they need it presented differently. They need it in a comprehensive way. They need it they need the live data because they need to operate the machine, or they just want to have the KPIs to have a glance at how efficient is the machine running, and do I as a plant manager need to improve the efficiency of this workflow. As mentioned, we are running on every browser. We recommend Chrome or therefore Edge, which uses the Chromium engine, but running on Firefox and Safari is a requirement from our customers too, and it is possible, but web technology can be a little bit finicky. That's why we recommend Chrome. To get access to the machine data, currently we have the options of OPC-UA, Modbus, Bradley, or Codesys. This is the current driver portfolio, which is steadily expanded. In the SCADA world, for example, which now is a refined or older project generation, we have roughly 20 drivers, and specific Siemens drivers like RFC series or the TIA drivers are a specific offering, which will come later down the line to PROCON-WEB Embedded Systems. At the moment, we are working on an MQTT driver, and therefore the data bus connection is on our agenda too. So we will steadily expand the connectivity of our app, and you can access data from outside Siemens Industrial Edge or from the inside. So just a rough overview of the engineering tool. It's one engineering tool and one project type for embedded systems and SCADA. This has the big advantage that you can migrate very easily from one project generation to another. And if you use features the new generation doesn't support yet, they are simply left out, but you don't have compatibility problems. You have access to a complete web HMI without knowing HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. But if you know it, you're happy to use it. We offer powerful client scripting based on TypeScript. You can integrate your own custom code in our HMI and therefore have interfaces to other softwares, have your own libraries run in the client. That's very powerful, what we offer in terms of connection or doing customer-specific applications. As mentioned, you don't need to have programming skills. It's basically drag and drop, configure properties. And as we are coming from the SCADA world, it's not just the easy way. You have a button and you can define 2 colors for the button. There are very powerful, very mighty configuration options, which allow you to make the perfect HMI for this customer or the machine. Or create flexible dashboards for machine overview, which I will show you later. Of course, it's what you see is what you get. So you define the screens here, and then they are rendered in the browser, and you can interact with them. So just a rough overview about the features, and but then we will jump into the demo. So of course, we support SVGs. You can have your own style guide. You can define for every control, every widget, different designs, use them in the HMI. We have libraries, we have powerful export and import options for the HMI. There are, of course, widgets, unit conversion between languages when you have customers from Europe or the US. This is a big topic. There is alarming, message handling. Of course, a powerful user and role management, multilingual support, scripting as mentioned. You have the gestures, from every touch device like pinching or zooming. And for the really sophisticated projects, we support structures, instances, arrays, automation objects, which are basically our way of if you have 100 times of the same pump in your system or the same machine, you don't need to create the HMI 100 times, but just one time and then assign different sets of variables to it. So it really helps you scaling up the application. And I hope that you're typing the questions in the chat so I can answer them afterwards. And right now we will jump into the demo. I hope you see the screen of the demo.
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So you can access this link and maybe have a look at it or show at customers in the presentation. It's publicly available. You will start with the screen. This is our fair demo. It is designed in a slim and elegant way. It's using our own internal design principle and is inspired by one of our biggest customers who's doing packaging machines. So you see foliage is basically moved into the machine. It is stretched, preheated, brought to a form, and then stamped, cutted, and stapled. And then you have like your bin for vegetables in the supermarket or stuff like that. This project is used for multiple machine generations. For example, the smaller machines, they all use the same product as the same HMI project as the complex machines, because we support some kind of modularity. When you boot up the HMI, you can have a configuration phase, and based on the configuration file, different parts are loaded, different pages are visible. So when you have the perfect tool chain around the HMI project, you can support multiple machine types with just one project and minimal effort. So just a rough overview. For example, we have charts to visualize data. Here it is visualized that you have to increase the spinning speed when the diameter is shrinking. We have multiple options to visualize historical data, but more on that later. Animations are easily possible. We support child pictures, we call them. So this was the use case with the 100 pumps. You just create these little screens one time and then assign them to the different instances of the pump. And there are some really powerful screens. For example, this screen, it is inspired based on material, outside temperature, humidity. The cutting process needs to be fine-tuned to have the same results. And with this screen, you can just basically configure the complete parameters for the cutting process. You see the highlighting when you change a parameter, which phase in this cutting of the knives is altered with the values. So really powerful tooling we offer here, and it's just a matter of time to get the perfect result for the customers. As mentioned, animations and then advanced control widgets like here, those expanding windows. So before we jump into some more sophisticated features, of course, I said we support multi-language support. We have the user management, and I will now log in with default admin so that I can have more options to show you the features. So for example, here, that's basically the option to enable or embed PDF documents or other data in the HMI and then show them in there. I said we support alarms and messages, different types there. So this is just information that that the production is active at the moment. Here is some order-related stuff. So we are in a specific order and therefore produced a several amount of pieces. So let's jump into the dashboard, which is actually customizable. So every screen you create or part of a screen you create for the HMI, you could put in such a dashboard and then have it as the central starting page of the application. So what you can do here is you can rearrange the pictures in your perfect way. This is stored per user, by the way, so every user of the machine can have his own dashboard, can have access to his own, to the information he needs. He can even tailor the dashboard and say, I don't care about these metrics, please put them away. I want just what is important for me in my screens. What is then possible to directly jump into this corresponding machine parts? So via navigation concepts. So this dashboard, really powerful, customizable in the runtime and allows you to have access to the machine data you actually need to do your job or to get the status of your machine in a glance, and don't need to navigate through 6 pages to see what is actually wrong or going on here. So this is our messages screen. Basically, we have powerful alarm triggers like bit high, bit low, numeric above a threshold, numeric above another numeric variable, and so on. And then you have messages, infos, so alarm levels. Then you have functions like you can acknowledge all alarms, you can acknowledge just specific ones, you can comment on alarms. And of course, we have an alarm history, which you, of course, have then filter options like let me filter for alerts. And then you just get, okay, I filtered for the text alert in this here. So I just get every alarm which contains alert here in the text. Of course, all this information, every time you see a chart, a grid, is exportable in fitting ways. For example, I could make an XLS or an PDF out of this, and it just filters, exports what I have filtered. So for diagnostics, to document important production steps, this is a really supportive, very important feature. Let's jump because it fits to the topic. There is the audit trail. When you are working for pharmaceutics, for food and beverages, then there is often the need that you that there is a event log, as we call it, which basically they logs every input the users are doing, which user is doing it, what has happened. I changed process variables, I put stuff from true to fails, when did it happen, and which user did it. And you can clearly see here what I have done after I logged in as an admin. So another powerful feature is the visualization of historical data. PROCON-WEB natively supports that you store data in databases. For PROCON-WEB SCADA, we are using SQL Express. That's why SCADA is just available for Windows. But embedded systems brings its own SQLite database in the container, and you can store decide which data points you want to store, what frequency would you want to store them, do you want to do some aggregations, and this is then the visualization for the tool. We have it chart-based, or you can have it as a table. Of course, there is a time range picker, so let's have a look maybe at the last hour of data. Then, very important, we have the export options here as a PDF or XLS. And you get to basically say, okay, I want to have a look at specific variables. You can create these profiles during the engineering phase, but you can even create new ones during the runtime. They are stored with the user, like the dashboards. So if you just want to have access to a specific set of variables which are already stored, you just pick them. You can then customize them in a very flexible way, change variables, change line widths, and of course, for numeric variables, the customization options are much more powerful. Like, how do you want to show your graph? What do you want to do with the variables? Do you want to have a logarithmic scaling? An automatic scaling which fits the y-axis to the actually value area you're using. You can customize on decimal counts or compression rates. So very powerful. And if you've done that, you can save the profile under the name you like. And you have it stored for the admin user now, and I can access it the next time I'm basically interacting with the machine. What do we have left? Another type of data management or stored data are recipes or orders, you can call them. What is a recipe? A specific set of parameters you need to load into the machine, into the PLC to produce a specific product. So you produce product A, you have a recipe A or several versions of recipe A. You have a product B, and you need to change a lot of the parameters directly and don't want to do it manually. Then you use these recipes and can have a powerful and fast switch between different production phases. Of course, you can create new recipes during the runtime. You just have to decide on the structure of the recipe during the HMI project. That was PROCON-WEB in a glance.